Welcome back, everybody, to the back nine coverage from round 2 of the Ledgestone Insurance Open, presented by Discraft, the world leader in disc sports. Again, I'm Brian Earhart, joined here by my good buddy Kevin Jones. How you doing, buddy?
Really good, Brian. Happy to be here, commentating on this awesome round on this awesome course. We've got some solid scores after our front nine: 2 down, 1 down, 1 down, 1 up. So Drew here is going to be looking for a quick birdie, right, to get back to even, and these other guys have the entire back nine to streak together some birdies and still put together a solid round.
Absolutely, and the back nine has been routinely more scoreable across the board for the players, and we come into hole 10, 11, and 12. We have 3 birdies that can definitely be had, especially if the players are getting off the tee well. We have 450 feet, a little bit downhill. I think it's playing more like 430 or 420, something like that. We'll see a lot of subtle hyzers from the righties coming in.
Yeah, it seems to be a common play. There is OB left side. You can see the rope right there. And there's OB behind the basket. In front of the basket is a ton of casual water that if you land in, you will move to the drop zone unless you want to get in the water.
Oh, boy. And Chandler tried clubbing down to a fairway driver and just got over on it a little bit too much. There's going to be an out.
Yeah, that's a good mistake.
It's a good mistake, but he'll probably be taking a 3 from there.
No doubt. Emerson's going Explorer.
And he ripped on this thing.
Sweet shot.
And that's the thing. I think even with the tailwind, the grass has just been so soft with all the rain that you really have to pinpoint these tee shots.
Yeah, they won't be skipping anywhere, that's for sure. Drew throwing T-Bird, it looks like.
Trying to get it to drift left to right. Tailwind is kind of telling him no, and unfortunately skips out of bounds.
That is a danger on this hole. Any height on the disc can allow it to have enough just to get OB, and now he's faced with a 40-foot par putt.
Andrew with not much, lays up for the par, and Drew, this is a big putt for him.
Oh, what a putt from Drew.
That was a lot smoother, and I think it probably felt good going into this back stretch. As long as the putt's feeling good and he's driving okay, I think he should be just fine.
That was an awesome putt. That'll keep him at 1 over par, so some damage control right there. Not letting this round get out of hand.
Chandler taps in his 3. Emerson coming up to tap in his 3 as well. I think one of these days a step putt's going to fall for him. He's been all over the basket.
Yeah, he hit that one on the last hole, but I imagine he will be streaking them together if he keeps getting those 35, 40-foot looks. All right, let's move on. Hole 11 is now going to be the easiest hole on the course. We've got a bunch of thick grass up there and even a wall to protect sidearms that want to skip or roll to the right OB. So really the idea is throw a lawn dart, throw a sidearm overstable disc, or even a backhand putter and just try to hit as close to the basket as possible because the disc will not be doing much once it hits the ground.
Yep, and I think the big mistake that we've been seeing is a lot of people hanging it too far left, and something's going on with the wind out there where it's really just shoving them out of bounds.
Yes, definitely. I believe that they're facing a right-to-left wind that they don't feel much at the tee box.
Exactly.
But in the fairway, in the middle of the fairway, it's definitely present.
And that's a tip for any new players watching this coverage. If you're playing a wooded course where a lot of holes are starting in the woods and then ending out of the woods, it's best to go outside of that gap to check the wind. Because inside the woods, it's kind of hard to feel things like that.
Yeah.
Chandler with a fantastic drive. Emerson going with that flat to fade forehand.
That's money all day. I'm telling you, I wonder if that was the Explorer.
You think he's still flicking that straight fairway driver?
I don't know. If he is, he's got some extreme touch. It could be a Felon, but it looks like the color of his Opto X Explorer, which is his tour disc, so go out and support him.
Absolutely. Drew throwing another forehand in bounds. All of them kind of have decent length looks for sure. And there's a gorgeous putt from Andrew from about 35 feet.
That was awesome.
That definitely feels good. Never want to miss the shortest hole in the course, that's for sure.
You're exactly right.
Chandler from about 28.
Not on this course, at least. Nice committed putt from Chandler.
Absolutely. High right side. That's going to catch every time on these baskets.
All right, Drew, I would love to see you knock this down. This is about a 22-footer, 22 to 25. This is for even par. Give it to him. That's a good birdie from Drew. And a good birdie from Emerson. Does that make a star frame, or did I miss one?
You know, Kevin,
That makes a star frame, doesn't
I think we kind of have ourselves a star frame after a bunch of good putts. Definitely feels good for Drew to get back to even with this scoreable stretch coming up. There is one more hole that they have to worry about, and that is the infamous water tower hole. We got OB behind the basket, left of the basket. It's pretty much an island around that water tower. Basket's directly behind. You want to throw kind of a flat to fade hyzer, and you really want to stay away from hitting the water tower. The lower on the water tower you hit, the higher percentage you have of rolling out of bounds. So these players are hopefully going to be swinging it nice and wide here.
I consider this a big turning point in the round. This shot is not looking pretty. He is going to be safe, though, and that happens. That was just a complete early release by Andy. Luckily, though, he did slip in the early inbounds. Chandler turning it over too much. There's
Probably
no
trying to
skip
make
out
an
there.
adjustment there, and yeah, he just drifted it too far to the right.
Yeah, this is a turning point in the round, though. You get this shot inbounds in the circle, and you're looking at a birdie putt. Man, it just seems like such a momentum swing to me. You know, this tee shot's very, very nerve-wracking. Emerson puring it, no problem.
And even with these fast drivers coming in, they're hitting the ground and skipping maybe only 2-3 feet.
Yeah.
So you, again, really, really have to be pinpoint with where you land these shots. And it's almost hard to trust that it's not going to skip.
Definitely.
Especially being on the West Coast for so long and how much, hard pan dirt these guys have had to play on.
Pretty sure that was was that a Firebird?
I think that was a Firebird, and that was a huge shot from Drew.
Drew's throwing Firebird shots, so 9 speeds on every hole that anybody else in the world would be throwing a 12 speed. So
And to throw a disc with that little glide, it just makes it so much easier to place the disc where you want it.
yeah, if you have that release down, you can really be dangerous with that. Andy all the way on the other side of the green, and he's taking advantage of that 40-footer.
He's starting to heat up a little bit.
He is. That's 2 huge putts in a row for him.
And that's something that I've heard from Andrew, from tons of other players. He loves hitting the big putts. Like we've seen earlier this round, he has a fantastic sidearm. So when those are feeling good for him, I think the scores are also going to match that.
Quality birdie from Emerson right there. Cashing in the 2 on the water tower hole.
Ouch, and another weak side putt that's just not sticking on these baskets, which again, lower percentage of sticking when you hit weak side just because the disc is spinning away from the basket. But that's unfortunate. I think if it was maybe a couple inches over towards the pole, he would have potentially stuck it.
Oh, for sure. Unfortunately, Drew will be staying at even par, cannot get under right there, and he will be moving on with the rest of the card to the Triple Island hole. So,
A couple birdies, a bogey, and a par, kind of showing the scoring spread that the water tower can present. We are moving into 13, which is a par 5 with a really interesting tee shot. You think you have to smash this drive over the water, but really, it's almost a down-tempo shot, especially if the wind is right.
yeah, I know I'm throwing low power here because if I throw too far, I'll be cut off and I will not have an angle to the second landing area. I said it's a triple island, and it plays like that for anybody throwing hyzer, but it's not a triple island. It's like a single island. Once you get over there, you can play through grass the whole way.
But the deeper you go, you definitely bring the par play into effect. The closer you get to the shore on each shot,
the better.
Yeah, the better. I mean, that's the only way you can really keep the birdie in play unless you work some magic. And I think Emerson's about to put this pretty much exactly where you want it. Hopefully he doesn't have to worry about that tree too much.
That's a beautiful spot to land. Andy, though, will be faced with something tough. He's going to be behind the tree. Hopefully has a line at it. Drew's fading a little left, isn't he? I'm totally wrong. Totally wrong. That is the spot.
That is picture perfect. And like we said, he clubbed down to a Firebird on that one.
Man, yeah, not many people are doing that. if any.
Chandler throwing that same TI force he's been throwing the whole time, and again, that's flawless. He'll have pretty much an identical shot for his second one.
Yeah, those three guys are all going to have very similar shots. Andrew right here is going to be the one with something different.
And
but
I think
he
he's
does
trying.
have it. He does have a good clean hyzer line. He probably went high speed here. Man, that's going to hit rocks and kick OB.
Ouch. He was about a foot from being safe.
Yeah, no doubt. He will probably get to take it right there. I believe he touched inbounds. So from here, this can be routine for Emerson. Just hyzer to this landing area, and now he's going to have a 200-foot shot to the green, to the basket. Very parkable.
And it might look like, these players are just throwing simple hyzers on these shots, but you have to be so precise with where you land them to give yourself that angle to throw an easier hyzer. And especially carrying it over water the whole way with the wind that's been in effect. It's a little bit tougher hyzer than you normally have to throw.
That's right. The second you yank it to the right too far and you don't come back in bounds, the hole turns into a double bogey.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if you miss too high left, you might try to ask for too much on your next shot, get too aggressive, and find yourself in trouble. So a lot can happen on this hole. It's a really, really good par 5.
Absolutely. And Andrew playing it a little bit high side, but circle's edge putt for the birdie.
Solid shot from Andy.
Actually, for the par.
That's right, because he went OB.
He did. But he was able to take it where he went out. Emerson trying to throw another hyzer here.
That's cool. It's nice to have a 25-footer for 4 on this hole.
Oh, yeah.
Chan throwing very overstable. Spiking it in there. That's a drop-in 4.
And that feels pretty good.
Feels
I
great.
must say. I will definitely say that.
Yeah, he made work of this hole, no problem. Drew going rock? No, maybe.
I like the flatter play
Maybe.
just for the sake of ground play.
Sure.
Lower and flatter, he's going to hit that slope with a lot cleaner angle, and the rollaway percentages go way down.
Yeah, anytime that you can make roller percentages go down, do it. Anytime you can land that disc flat, do it.
Andy Cajun one from about 35. So he'll have to tap in his bogey. Emerson actually has his birdie putt here. Again, 28-footer, with the water right behind it. But for a player like Emerson, he's not even thinking about the water.
Yeah, he's not thinking water. He's thinking basket the whole way. Put it on the basket.
It's not a death putt if it goes in.
No, or if it hits anything. A lot of these guys just have the confidence. They just know, at least they're going to hit something.
Exactly.
That's hitting the pole.
And that's a fantastic birdie from Emerson.
This is for Drew's birdie, right?
I believe so.
Yes, sir.
Cashes in on the birdie there after a bunch of Firebird shots for him.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's nice that he gets to throw, his most accurate disc on this hole. And I think it's a smart play. I love the way that he played his final shot to the pin. Chandler also gets a nice tap-in birdie. So, wow, 3 birdies on this hole. That's definitely impressive.
That's good, and I think we're seeing results of those 3 perfect drives. Those 3 perfect drives were just in the beautiful position. There was no stress on that next shot. They just threw hyzer to the next landing area, and they all had an option or in a clean line to the basket for their birdie. Well done, guys. Andy just unfortunate just to hit the rocks and go OB, and that will cost him 1 stroke. That costed him.
Moving into hole number 14, as you can see, lots of OB. We have OB on the left and the right. The shot really is to just push it as far and straight as possible, but when you're pushing it nose down, downhill like the players are, kind of changes the stability of the disc, and you also have to play with the wind. So we're going to see a lot of fairway drivers or control drivers being thrown off the tee here.
Yeah, this is definitely his Opto X Explorer.
And this is exactly what I was chalking up for him, maybe a little bit higher. And this section is actually very unfortunate. You have a downhill run up, and there's also terrible ground there. So hopefully he's in the position where he can take a unplayable lie.
He would likely be able to take relief from there if he's in there. And if he is, he'll just back it up a few feet and have a clean hyzer.
Exactly.
Drew playing a good shot. This is one of the more touchy drives on the course, I would say. There's only 1 or 2 holes at most where they require this straight fairway shot. And you add any wind to that, and it's so hard.
Chandler throwing the new Onyx from Discraft just dead straight, and he's in a fantastic position. Andy going left gap. I actually don't see this played too often.
I've never seen this play, but with the thick grass, it's not that dangerous, isn't it?
And I think for him, he has a big enough backhand where he can trust it.
This is crazy, though. This is very, very far away. He's going to play high, maybe
Definitely
circle 2
safe.
area.
He'll be happy to take a par from there and potentially have a run at the basket.
Yeah.
Drew smashing a hyzer. And with this grass, I think he'll be able to stick right there. Yep.
So finally, Drew has to throw something faster than a Firebird. Emerson not opting for any relief.
And from where he was at, that footing is terrible down there in that little patch. So for him to even get up to the edge of circle 1 is solid.
Yeah, it's a little scary knowing your footing is weird, and the last thing you want to do is yank it to the right. That's a very overstable disc, and it looks awesome.
And that should be another circle 1, edge of circle 1, maybe a circle 2 putt from about 35.
I think so.
Andy potentially running this.
No doubt about it.
Wow.
He's definitely feeling it right now.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, he's landing that putter really soft, so even if it did hit the ground, the rollaway percentage is really low, so it's really a safe run.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's a very high lofted putt that is just dropping right in. I like it. Emerson missing his step putt again. Same with Chan, and I know they're feeling a little bit of wind out there. Making these putts not routine at all. There's a good
That's
putt.
a big birdie from Drew for sure. Getting the par 5, getting the par 4. Now we're moving into a little bit shorter par 3, and I think he can keep the streak going.
Yeah, he's doing what he needs to do right now. He was at 1 over at the start of this 9, and I believe that put him at 2 down.
Yeah, he's starting to pick up some fire, and the putt is coming along, which is definitely going to be helping him.
Yeah, so Drew's got 4 very birdieable holes left, and if he could birdie all 4 and shoot a 6 down, that's an awesome round. That's a really, really good round. So he's still in there. He still has a great chance, as well as all these other guys.
And with Drew getting the lone birdie and 3 pars coming in from the card, we will move into a quick commercial break from our sponsors and get going on hole number 15. Hole number 15 is an uphill par 3 measuring at 315 feet. Plays about 330 with the elevation change, out of bounds on the left side. Out of bounds also behind the basket, and a Mando tree right in the middle to prevent the righties from throwing the hyzer. I think a lot of times we're going to see some left to right drifting turnovers, as Drew is probably going to be throwing with a rock.
Now, Drew definitely has to throw this pretty hard. He doesn't have to throw it max power by any means because he has such an arm, but this is an uphill hole. It plays probably like 360, if you ask me.
It plays far, for sure. It plays a lot longer than 315, and that was a great shot from Drew.
And like this sidearm here is huge. I'm able to flick at least 400 feet, and I have trouble getting my sidearm there.
And that was another great shot from Emerson.
Quality shot, finding himself a putt. A slightly uphill putt, too, so it's not extremely scary.
Got an Undertaker coming out here from Chandler, and that's starting to flatten a little bit.
Undertaker's cool, a little bit faster. As long as you get it turned over, it's going to be up there somewhere putting. Oh, my gosh.
Little hyzer flip popper from Andrew. That was fantastic.
Woo.
He's been showing off his sidearm all around, and I think it's definitely dangerous when he's feeling it. So he's got a nice putt from circle 1, too. There's one. He finally gets a good stepper to land. That's a great birdie from Emerson.
Nice putt. I do remember, I don't even know if it was last year or 2 years ago, but playing with Emerson on this basket, he hit probably a 90-footer uphill with wind. He might like this basket.
And the birdie streak keeps going as Drew closes out his turkey.
Let's go, Drew. Finding a streak. I like it. 3 under.
Chandler from circle 1.
It's a great putt. Cashing in the Undertaker birdie. Well played. I like this hole a lot. It really gives players like options. Do they want to throw flippy fairway? Do they want a sidearm? Flippy mid-range?
That was a good grouping of birdies there, I must say.
That was awesome. Andy getting a hyzer flip sidearm there is just a crush. That really shows how much power he has.
Yeah, after another star frame on definitely not a gimme of a par 3. We move into a par 4 that has a lot of treachery as well, kind of the theme of the Ledgestone course.
Yeah, that was a crazy star frame, honestly. Elevated basket, very tough shot shape hole. Here we go.
This one here is interesting. You just really have to hit the gap, and I think whatever disc you can push the longest and straightest is kind of what you want. You really don't have to bite off too much. I think this hole's more about positioning. So I think Drew is opting for a rock again. Threw that one a little high.
You're not wrong at all. Anything at this tree, right where Drew's heading, the tree that he hit, anything past that tree is in birdie position. Wow, he makes me kind of jealous with the rock shot there. He makes me think maybe I'm not playing the right shot.
Or you could just do that from Emerson and throw a beautiful drifting shot that lands soft.
Everybody, that's the Opto X Explorer. He's advertising it pretty well right now, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Definitely
Yikes.
yanked that over with his body, and he's not happy with that. That's a tough spot. He'll still be able to save a 4 if he executes.
For sure. That's why he's not
Oh,
mad.
my goodness.
Yeah, that was amazing.
So now it's official. Oh, yikes.
Right behind it, but if he just does the same shot, he'll be parked.
That's a fantastic sidearm from Andrew. Unfortunate lie. Chandler going massive standstill turnover. Almost gets to work.
That was really aggressive. I like it. But still, anything at that tree, he can get up and down from.
Absolutely. Going with the Chanimal Buzz.
Have good speed. Have good speed here. Not bad.
That's definitely not outside of his range. For sure.
You're very right.
And like you said, Andrew with another just easy step out sidearm. If that crashes in, it should be nice.
Easy. He made it look, but that was a really
That's
good
gotta
shot.
Sit down.
Thick grass slows it down. If that grass is cut, that could have gone OB. Drew is past the Mando enough to throw a hyzer into the green, which I like, and he did it so perfectly.
And that's another easy birdie. That's going to be, if he makes it 4 in a row for Drew, so that must be feeling pretty good.
He's got it all day. This is Emerson throwing glidey justice. He's had this in his bag for years. Beautiful shot.
And these guys are making this hole look easy, but definitely not.
It's definitely not an easy hole. Very
Chandler
easy to
trying
go
to save
OB.
par here. Oh, and he walks it off, no problem.
I had a feeling about that one
Wow.
for some reason. What a putt.
Pops the Challenger OS, a little smile coming from him as he pulls that out of the basket. That must feel pretty good from where he was at off the tee.
Yeah, that was a huge par save. Great birdie from Andy. That's an easy flick. It's a cool execution there. I like to see it. Drew went rock and then overstable mid or putter, and he's going to be dropping this in. This is about 10 feet. Maybe a little bit longer. Yeah, he's got 3 in a row already. He just wants to make sure that this is going in the basket. 4 under through 4 holes.
And as you can see how easy the birdie was for Emerson, you know, whatever disc you can throw the longest and straightest on this hole gives you the easiest upshot to the green. And as you can see, 3 of those players did exactly that. They pushed it as far as they could down the fairway and straight, and they all had pretty simple shots to the basket. Chandler saving a fantastic 4 with a circle 2 putt. Moving into the island hole, Mr. Kevin.
That's right. So this is a 300-foot shot. Plenty of options. Sidearm, putter, mid-range, spike hyzer, backhand. It doesn't matter. You're going to see people throwing what they're most comfortable with, anything that they can do some distance control with. So probably a stable disc because they don't want too much glide or anything flipping up and turning on them. Drew going Firebird. That looks good if you ask me.
And really, with the line that he's taking, I'm assuming his shot is just trying to ace it.
Yeah, I would say so.
Having the disc come in sideways makes the green a lot more accessible rather than going straight at it. Emerson's hopefully, and he sticks it.
Nice. That was a little scary. You know, if you don't hit inbounds there, it's not going to skip inbounds.
And it's an automatic 4.
Automatic 4. So this is a turning point in the round. This is a great hole because, you know, you're on hole 17 and you have whatever score that you've earned so far. Unfortunately, that's OB. He'll be taking at least a 4. And you have whatever score that you've been playing with so far, and now you have a shot to execute. If you execute it, you can be looking at another birdie, and if you don't, you're going to have to drop a stroke just like that.
And Chandler throwing a drone, actually. That's a big shot for a drone, and he is definitely in circle 1.
That is. He must be really confident throwing it.
Oh, yeah.
Almost full power.
And as we just mentioned, anytime you go out of bounds in this hole, that upshot's not any bit of a run for birdie. And he's going to take his... Oh, my gosh.
Ooh, he got nubbed. That was
really unfortunate.
Yeah, that was a really good-looking putt, just an inch low.
You never want to, especially after finally making the island, you never want to miss that circle 1 putt.
Yeah, not many threes on this hole, probably.
Drew keeps it going. 5 in a row from Drew. I'm not sure what we call that in bowling terms. It's definitely not a turkey.
No.
We'll call it a yak. That's what we'll call it.
Well, he's 1 away from a double turkey. I know that. 18, that would be sick to get.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, Drew getting in bounds there is just huge. He's already on a 4 birdie streak, so he knows if he puts it in bounds, he's looking at 5 just like that.
And he's, after starting the back 9 at 1 up, he's now 5 down. Emerson's actually at 8 down for the round. We have 2 players at 3 down. This is, the players have been playing great, and anything under par, is fantastic out here. Moving into 18, one of the tougher birdies on the course. Where do we want to put this drive?
Oh my, you have options, honestly. Like, if you want to if you have a big sidearm and you want to end early left by the big concrete slab, do it. That would be a great play. You'll get to take relief from the slab, and then you'll throw a nice sidearm over the water that will give you a putt at a birdie. Otherwise, people are going to be looking just to get up the fairway as far as possible and make the shot as short as possible. So Drew is going to hammer this disc right here. Yikes, made the Mando. Luckily, that's going to be 4 at best.
And being on the high side, he might be able to throw another hammered shot, so we'll see.
Yeah, he might get aggressive.
And this is the play that I like for righties, especially if the wind is good. The roller can get you so far down the fairway, and with the fairway sloping towards the water, the rollers can just carry on that line for a long time. That's a good spot from Emerson.
Yes, definitely a good shot.
Chandler going vulture, I believe.
Don't cut roll.
And it looked like he threw that shot like he had been throwing that overstable force.
Yeah.
He was trying to get on it, and I think his body might have been in the habit of throwing like that.
Yeah,
but he's still in the fairway.
If it's anything like me, he knows that if he gets on it, he can never go OB left, and he'll be somewhere safe.
And another soft landing forehand from Andrew, so he's right in the middle.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he's going to do from there. Yes, Drew's definitely going mash, but nowhere near a 3 look. Good shot from Drew. Should be pretty routine of an up and down. He's got 120 to 150 feet left, maybe.
Chandler smashes a hyzer with a force and clips a late tree, unfortunately. But again, taking a 4 in this to end, especially after how hard some of these holes have been.
Here's Andy's play. I really like it. Man, what a shot. That might be circle 2, which is impressive after catching so much tree.
Oh, yeah.
Emerson going for the gap. Almost. That would have been up there putting for sure. That's a really aggressive shot, but he has the flick, and he knows that it's just going to finish right.
And he's been playing well, so any risky shot probably doesn't feel that risky to him at this point.
That's right.
As he throws another sidearm pretty nicely up there, he'll finish out with par.
Chandler Fry with a beautiful upshot. He's going to be securing a par.
And a definitely respectable round as well.
That's Drew with a great upshot. These are on a downslope. There's nothing easy about that.
Yeah, it looks like, all the players in this card have avoided a lot of the trouble that this hole can present, and we're going to see, I believe, a bunch of pars here.
Looks like it, and nothing wrong with that. They all have solid scores right now, and they're going to turn their scorecard in and move on to final round.
Yeah, it was very entertaining to watch. We saw a lot of fantastic shots. We now know that Andrew Marwede has one of the best flip-up sidearms I've ever seen.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was really cool to watch. He was way out of position on 18, and if he wouldn't have caught trees, he would have had a putt, which is huge.
So after 4 pars, we have 8 down from Emerson, 5 down from Drew, and 2 3-downs from Andrew and Chandler. Really an impressive spread here. They're definitely going to either hold place or move up. Emerson definitely moved up to 5th place there. And actually, it looks like Kevin Jones shooting a pretty spicy round, moving up quite a few spots there.
Yeah, solid round is going to move me up to lead card. I'm excited to play this final round. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for supporting Central Coast, and I really hope you join us for final round coverage.
Make sure to subscribe to their channel, and again, we'll see you tomorrow for the next round.
See you next time.